what up, man? It's Brother Haru, man, for the Galactic Guardian. I'm here with Brother Trav, the Blue Pillar.
Peace, peace, peace.
I got a bunch of Guardians in the building. We all here, we here. A bunch of Guardians in the building. You see them. What's going on, Blue? What's going on, Brother Trav?
Peace, peace, peace. You already know, man. Shouts out to the Pillar. Shouts out to Blue for coming out today, holding it down with the family, you know what I'm saying? Teaching us some breathing techniques, some exercises that we're going to take with us, you know what I'm saying? To, build our families, man, and build our communities.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yo, so Brother Trav, you got some things that's coming up pretty soon in the near future?
Yeah, I definitely do. I got, right now, starting a nonprofit, and it's called Ancient Nubian Kemetic Hoodoo. And really what I'm doing is I'm just like cooking a gumbo for the Lost Tribe in the Americas, man, that's kind of looking for a way, you know what I'm saying? There's many directions to get to the supermarket, you know what I'm saying? So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm bringing that ancient Kemetic and that Nubian, Ethiopian Kushite energy, you know, and applying the same principles as other African spiritual systems such as the Yoruba, Ifa, you know, divination, invocation, getting back into the magic, you know what I'm saying? Because that's really where our power lies, is in the magic. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying, I want to bring that to the forefront. I want to stop playing games. We got to get back into botany, get back into mineralogy, you know, biology, astrology, astronomy, you know what I'm saying, all of what my brother would call
sacred plants,
what he call it, soul, the science of universal laws. So that's what the soul is. The soul is the science of universal laws. Numerology, the brother Blue been killing them with the law of 44. And you know, and it's definitely opening my eyes to some things, and me being a born 2 and 22, and you know, and 2 and 2 is 4, and you know, and all the science, especially behind
and 2 + 2 is 4.
2 + 2 is 4, and even the tree of life, whether it's Kemetic or Kabbalah, you know what I'm saying? You got the 22 paths and the 10, the 10 numeric principles, or the 32.
22 arcana. 22 is key.
So yeah, so you know, this is the big homie, you know what I'm saying? Usually I'm here dropping the jewels and I'm doing the feeding, but you know, it feels good to sometimes to be, you know, a student too of the game, in which I'm always a student. So today I want to be more of a student.
We all students.
We all students, all master teachers are master students. So with that being said, this is my big homie. I look up to this brother, I see him on YouTube every day, you know what I'm saying? He helps me be more confident in what I'm doing because he moves how I move, he dress how I dress, he think how I think, but he's on the righteous path, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know, I'm honored to be here with the legendary Blue Pillar, okay? I got some questions I want to ask Blue Pillar. And first of all, I would just like you to introduce yourself to the people out here in Waterbury, Connecticut, and let them know who you are, what you do.
Peace, you and yours, Brother Blue Pill, reporting live and direct, one half of the Twin Pillars. Shout out to my brother Red Pill, Mama Pill, KT the Arch Degree. Like you said, I'm just a master student, you know what I'm saying? I've been able to sit at some of the feet of the master teachers and, you know, take these gems and these jewels and piece them together, you know what I'm saying? And bring forward my version of these sacred arts. So I'm still learning, in the words of our brother Nearly Fuller Jr., you know what I'm saying? Every day is a waking moment. Just on a voyage, you know? Just on the voyage, bro.
Word. Okay, well, I want to ask you a couple questions, and I'm going to come as a, you know, I'm going to ask questions that I would like to know the answers to. You know what I'm saying? You know, I want to get into a little bit of metaphysics, because that's where I'm at right now. I'm in the metaphysics. I'm on the metaphysical plane. I'm on to the cause and the effect, being, you know, proactive and not being reactive.
Exactly.
So I wanted to know, I heard you talk about us being more of a symbolic people, you know, and that's a title that stands out to me, because everywhere I look, everything is symbolic. Everything is a symbol. Can you explain the power of symbols, especially dealing with our people, being that we're right-sided of the brain, and how it affects how we can be taken advantage of and how we can help come up out of, you know, if we would consider ourselves in some type of being oppressed. You know, how can we come up using symbols as leverage?
Well, symbolism, motifs, and archetypes speak to the subconscious mind. And, you know, the question of the hour is people always asking me, well, why the blue pill? You know what I'm saying? And I explained to them that reality, for the most part, is programmed from the subconscious realm. You know what I'm saying? Are we living in a dream, or are we living in a quote-unquote reality, or is the dream realm the reality? You know what I'm saying? Being that that's where the majority of your programming, we run 95% off of our subconscious programming. So the archetypes and the symbolism is what's communicating with the subconscious. And if we're not programming it, then it's being programmed. You feel me? So we are symbol illiterate, unfortunately, in our community. There's nothing in the black experience that necessarily speaks about symbolism. You feel me?
Right.
Not only the education, but the ownership of it. You know what I'm saying? Not only the education and ownership of it, but, you know, the emphasis on, look, this is how you make a symbol, this is how you make a sigil, this is what this, we don't have none of it. So we're subject to it. You know what I'm saying? And I refuse to be subject. So I just started embracing symbolism. I started embracing sigils and sigil making. I started using social media for what it is. You understand?
Powerful.
If social media is a black screen, then it's the black mirror. I use it for scrying. I use it to create my reality. It's a trestle board. You feel me? So I seen it for what it was, and I was just like, look, I could create reality utilizing this black mirror. And that's what I do. You know what I mean? And I use symbolisms to emboss upon people's subconscious whole different, you know, archetypes of realities.
Right.
And things of that nature.
Beautiful, beautiful. I want to dig a little deeper into that, what you just said. Now, is the word symbol or sigil?
Sigil.
Okay, and that is more of the creation of some type of talisman or shape or form to bring forth energy? Right. So I just wanted to define that for the people because that's where I'm at with it as well. For those who didn't understand what he was saying, I just wanted to clarify that. Now I wanted to ask you a little bit of information based on that energy. Now, as far as our people go, being that we're more right-sided of the brain as melanated people, and we're more caught into, and we're more into the unification of things. Do you think it's, how important do you think it is to tap into these African spiritual systems, such as, Yoruba, Ifa, even the Kabbalah, to tap into that, the magical part of African spirituality?
I feel that not only are African spiritual systems key to our, not only our liberation, but our remembrance. When they were able to disassociate the African from nature, they were able to disassociate the African from nature, from God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So those particular systems put the emphasis back on nature. You ain't gonna get nothing popping without recognizing, you know what I'm saying, that latent inherent force that lies in nature.
Right.
You feel me? I think that it's necessary and it's needed. But, I'm really of the mindset, because of my recent interactions with different spiritual systems that are indigenous to this land as well. We need a fusion of both.
Right.
Because I ask people all the time, you know what I mean? Case in point, if you are, let's say, an African American, how much more African are you than American? You know what I'm saying? Like, on the back of a box of cereal or whatever food that you have, they list the ingredients.
Right.
And the concentration is highest is listed first.
Right.
Yeah, so niggas would be more like American Africans.
Right.
What do they do every day to emphasize their Africanness? They say that it's in their DNA, what have you, but DNA conforms to environment. So if we're 4 or 5 generations, you know what I'm saying, steeped in this particular reality, and we know pretty much some of us go a lot further than that, then your resonance is primarily particular to this particular landmass.
Right.
Even if they say that you are what you eat, well, 95% of the food that you eat comes from America.
Right.
So you American.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what inherent mystery systems can we indulge in that are indigenous to this land coupled with what we'll also find by way of the African spiritual system, because I ask them all the time without being facetious or without being disrespectful, you know what I'm saying, was African spirituality trumped by the white man's technology? If it wasn't, what the fuck are we doing here? So it would beg to differ to me that we need something a little bit more modernized, a little bit more remixed, to speak specifically to who we are in this particular dimension at this particular time. So that's what's interesting about the Kabbalah, you know what I'm saying? Because it's African based, but it's still a Western mystery system. You feel me?
Right.
And based on my studies, that's the sorcery that they use it. And I'm able to decipher that based on my use of gematria and the law 44. I'm like, oh, look, I can show you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They hand in the cookie jar. I can't show you in other systems, but I could definitely show you where they're deriving their sorcery from. And they got all of their magic from the Moors by way of the grimoires. This is fact. You feel me? They just utilizing something that we turned our backs on.
Right.
And we was like, oh, we good with that. You feel me?
Powerful.
It's like, you know, I'll even go on the record and say they use African spirituality a little bit more better than we do right now.
No, I would have to agree. Let me piggyback that and add on, just for clarity. When I say African, me personally, I'm not speaking of the continent. You know, I have come in over my studies, and I've come to understand that Afua means earth, Ra means light, and Ka means the soul. So we're talking about children of the sun, the indigenous people of the entire planet. So I know when a lot of people do say Africa, people think of the continent. So, you know, when I say Africa, I'm just talking about indigenous melanated people as a whole. But I understand what the brother is saying. You know what I'm saying? When I speak of Africans, I'm speaking of Afu again, meaning earth, Ra meaning light, Ka meaning the soul. So I'm not really speaking about the African continent. I'm talking about the indigenous African people, children of the sun. But what was powerful that you hit me with today was that the Kabbalah being an African Hebrew, just meaning those that crossed over the water, the Africans that went into Israel. So it doesn't mean anything less than that. It's just the Africans that went into Israel with the Tree of Life system. I love how you merged it and said that how the Western society uses the Kabbalah, even though it is African spirituality, it's kind of a merger of the birth of the best of both worlds. Is how you're able to decode and crack so many codes. So that in itself was powerful, man. And I definitely want to salute you for the work that you've been doing in the community, and the fact that metaphysically, because that's where we at now, in the age of the Aquarian, information is more than what you see. You know what I'm saying? It's also about what you feel and about what you know to be right and exact through resonation and vibrations. So these brothers is definitely waking up the community with the decoding. Make sure you follow the brother Blue Pill 44 on Instagram.
Blue Pillar. Right.
Blue Pillar. And any last things you want to say to the people?
To veggie back over what you're talking about in regards to this new age of information and, you know, vibrational aspects of the way that this light is coming through. I just came back from Mount Shasta, you know, California, which is recognized as the planetary root chakra, or the root chakra of the planetary grid system is more like the crown chakra. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere that you go up there, the Europeans, you don't see no red. Everything's purple up there, you know, and they get into the ascended masters and everything. But I was able to feel something, you know what I'm saying, in regards to like communication from the land, from the mountains, from the ancestors. There's really no separation, you know what I'm saying? We speak often about us being indigenous to this planet, but then we don't want to lay claim to lands that's ours.
Right.
You know what I mean? What this land said to me was that it was like, look, your beef with the white man ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all confusing America with the European. There's no time that we take out to say thank you to this land. We don't have no days of remembrance. We don't have no rituals. We don't have nothing to say thank you. And Americas is the Americas. I ain't just talking about North America. The islands, South America, Central America. You know what I'm saying? We could take it all the way back to the Olmec. This our land. We home. And this is not about a dispute about whether we're from, no, we are from Africa, but we went everywhere. We've populated this earth. We've already done what we need to do. Now it's about reclaiming it. Now it's about remembering it and activating this particular grid. And then those spirits and those ancestors will always come through and compound your magic right here. We can bring, like you said, because our DNA tumble is already having us bring the light from, you know what I'm saying, it's with us, you know, everywhere that you are.
Right.
But it's time to activate and find out what this land has in store. If the nigga won't fight the white man, if he won't get at him, the land won't get at him. But we in the way. So once we come back into our memorization about who and what we are, then the land will start utilizing us. You feel me?
And we'll start utilizing
the
the land. Basically what me and the brothers trying to get at is, as indigenous people, we need to get back to nature, period. The littering, such as my brother here, you cannot litter in front of that man. So, you know, he's a living example of this energy. You know, as the brother said, tapping into vibrations and frequencies, decoding, getting into the, you know, the symbology. We must start doing that.